good morning. All right, are we all paying attention? Let's go. All right. Hi. You guys don't need to do that. We don't need to smush in anymore. Can you go get your own seat? Like before we didn't have enough chairs. Now we definitely do. So we're all going to spread out a bit more. I know life is so sad. I swear. Thank you. All right, so everybody, let's focus. All right, we are going to work on linear inequalities today. So you can see that I've written some inequalities up there. We know what they mean, right? You just read them left to right. If you're starting with the little end, it's less than. If you're starting with the big end, it's greater than. So this says x is less than 1, right? This is the little end. We're reading in this direction. So x is less than 1. This one is x is greater than or equal to -2, right? So we've got this line underneath, that means or equal to. And then here we've got x is actually greater than -3, but less than or equal to +2. So there are ways that we can display this on a number line, right? This is our number line over here. My pen would work. And I'm going to draw these things over there. Now, if you have a if you have a less than or a greater than sign, you need to use an open circle to indicate that we're not allowed to include that number. But if you have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, we color the circle in to show that we're allowed to include that number. All right, so I'll give you some examples of that. So for the purple one here, x is less than 1. So this is an open circle because I'm not allowed to include 1. It's just less than 1. And then all I do is draw an arrow going in this direction forever because x is always less than 1. That's all I got to do. For the red one, same thing. X is always greater than -2. So this time I need a closed circle because I'm allowed to include -2. And then I do an arrow going in the other direction, right? It doesn't quite matter how far I draw the arrow, as long as you can tell. All right, the green one has limits in both directions. So I need 2 circles and a line between them. So I'm allowed to be greater than -3, and I'm allowed to include -3. So I color that in. No, I don't. I didn't read that properly, did I? That's an open circle because I'm not allowed to include -3. But then I am less than or equal to +2. So this one is a colored in circle, and then I just draw a line between the two. That's all you got to do, right? It's not that hard. Sometimes you do it in a reverse. They'll give you the graph, and then you've got to write an inequality from it. So if I did something like this, can everyone just grab out a pen for me? I would like you to write this as an inequality for me. Okay, so write that inequality, and then I'll show you what it should be, and we'll make sure we all got it right. So do this blue one. You don't need to draw it. You just need to tell me the inequality. You're just writing one of these, right? There's no need to draw it. You're just writing me an inequality that is represented by this blue bit. These, right? So write one of those for the blue one. Write one of these for the blue thing.
In our test, are you gonna have like a thing like that, or do we have to make it?
You'll have to make it. Oh my gosh, how hard is it to draw a line with numbers on it? Oh, what an ass. I'm a monster.
My grade, it's difficult.
Oh my goodness. All right. Are we almost done? Couple people still writing? All right, so you should have a lower end and an upper end. All right, so my lower end is -1 and my upper end is 3. Right, so I should have that because I'm allowed to include 3, but I'm not allowed to include -1. So this is what you should have written. Yes? All right, let's save it. You switched it? So what you're saying is X is bigger than both of those things. So, okay, let's talk about how you would read this. You read from the X in both directions. So what I'm saying here is X is greater than -1 and X is less than or equal to 3. So you start with the X and you just read from there in both directions. And that's how you know what sign to use, all right? Little end, smaller than, big end, greater than. When you're in primary school, you get taught that the crocodile wants to eat the big numbers, right? So crocodile jaw is eating the biggest number. That's another way you can think about it if you like crocodiles. All right, so now what we're going to do is solve inequalities, right? So we're going to do them in a number line, but we're also going to solve them. If we know how to solve linear equations, which we do, we already know how to solve inequalities. There is only one extra thing that you need to know. So let's have a go at that. So if I have, let's pick a darker color. So if I have 3x minus 4 is greater than or equal to, let's do 11. All right, what do I do first? What? Plus 4, right? So I'm bringing over the 4 as a positive, and then what do I do? 15 over 3. So X is not 5. X is greater than or equal to 5. So then if I had to draw a number line to go with it, which some questions might ask you to do, I might have a little number line here. And then I'm going to do a closed circle and go up from 5. All right, let's look at one where it's a little bit different from stuff we've done before. Let's say that I have 10 minus 2x is less than 20. All right, so this is going to have one extra thing in it that we've not done before. It's pretty easy though. It's just one thing you have to remember. What do I do first? Okay, but I'm going to write it out like this. You're right. Okay, now what do I have to do? Okay. Now, if you ever divide or multiply by a negative, you have to flip the sign. That's the only extra thing you need to know for this topic. If I multiply or divide by a negative, I must flip the sign. So now X is greater than -5. That's the only extra thing. Apart from that, it is all linear equations, just normal linear equations. All right, I'm going to move this across so I can have a little more room. I love that new feature. All right, so let's do another one like that. So if I have, let's do 30 minus 4x is greater than or equal to, what do I want that to be? Let's make it a weird fraction. That's fine.
90?
Yeah, we'll make it a weird fraction. No worries. What am I going to move first? Not equals.
Equal to or greater than? Yeah. 3.
All right, so then I'm going to divide by a negative. So this is 3 divided by -4. So I must flip the sign. Oh, yeah, why did I do that? That's a really good point. I did something incredibly stupid. That should have been a subtraction. What happened to my brain there? Is 90 minus 30. So X is greater than or equal to 60 divided by -4. So, oh, what have I got? Careful. Ah, what? It's first of all, it's -15. And somebody pointed out, I did not flip the sign. I did that on purpose to see if you'd pick it up. You must flip the sign. So anytime you divide or multiply by a negative, flip your sign. All right, let's do a multiplying version and then I'm going to set you to work. So if I have x over 2 minus 4 is less than, let's do 10. All right, so x over 2 is less than what?
6. I mean,
What?
14.
14, right? We're adding it on this side. just make that clear. And then what do I do? Oh, I meant to do that. Good. So I have to bring this across. I'm multiplying, but I'm multiplying by a negative. So I must flip this sign. So x is greater than -28. So that's the only thing you need to remember. If you're subtracting, don't flip the sign. It's just about multiplication and division. All right. We need to do one more where there's actually an answer on both sides of the inequality symbol. All right, let me save that first. I'll show you what I mean. Sorry? I'm about to put it all up there. Yeah. That's why I'm saving them all so I can put them on Google Classroom for us. All right, what if I have 3x plus, oh no, that's not what I want. Actually, yeah, I will do it like that. No, I'm not going to do it like that. Let me do it like this. Do I want to do it like that? Let me look at how they're going to give it to you. Oh, you know what? They're not going to give it to you like that today. I don't have to do it. Oh, great. All right, let's just do a really complicated one. All right, so if I give you something like this, it looks more complicated, but it's exactly the same. What should I do first? Expand my brackets. So what do I get? Okay, let's expand our brackets. All right, let's start putting some stuff to, oh, you know what I did? I changed letters. I shouldn't have changed letters. Because otherwise it's not solvable. We got 2 letters. I forgot I changed it. All right, so let's put some stuff together. So we've got 2m. What does this become? No, -8. This is -14 plus 6. Yeah, well, use your eyes. 5m, what's this? 36 plus 36. All right, let's try and put some things together now. So I got 2m minus 5m is less than or equal to 36 plus 8, right? Bring the 8 across and the 5 across. So what have I got here? -3m is less than or equal to 44. Now what do I do? Right. So that means I have to flip my sign. Can I simplify this? No? Is 44 divisible by 3? Then we're going to leave it. All right. So it's okay to have fractional answers. If you can simplify it, always do that. But if you can't, that's completely fine. All right. That is it. Today we are on lesson number 3.